Welcome to Winning Minds. Glad you joined us today. Today, I'm going to be talking about women. I know you're probably like, well, what in the world? Yes, women, some people's favorite subjects for selfish reasons and foolish reasons, but instead of just women, I'm actually going to talk about mothers. I had an idea at first to go a totally different route, but some things have transpired just in my own life in the last couple of days. And I guess I'll take that and use that as inspiration to talk about this. I know it's not Mother's Day, it's November after all. But I feel that this is a good topic, if you even want to call it that, to talk about. I'm not going to do it justice, but talking about women and mothers in particular, my focus is the time that is spent by mothers caring for those that they love, specifically caring for children. That is what makes a mom, right? Duh. The time that is spent caring for children, the time that is spent cleaning, doing laundry, cooking meals, being thoughtful, planning ahead, taking care of them while they are sick. And that is the most recent inspiration in my own life, dealing with illness in our family, a vicious virus kids are dealing with. And there is Supermom, Dr. Mom, to take care of them. And so that has just got me thinking about this idea, this topic, this reality, that there are human beings, women, that do a whole lot of stuff. They are unsung heroes in so many aspects, doing things that no one will ever truly appreciate, but they still do it faithfully. And so this episode, this really is a tribute to mothers. It's not going to do it justice. This is not replacement, or this is not me feeling guilty as a man or as a husband or as a father that I'm not doing what my wife can do. No, this is simply looking at that and saying, wow, great job. That's amazing. And so this video, it is for, I'm just going to say it. This is not for quote unquote birthing persons, as some people in society are trying to change definitions and men can be women. Stop it. Stop it. You're disrespecting biological women and the things that they deal with and the things that are naturally in them to do. This is not for birthing persons. This is not for biological males. So if you're a man and you want to turn it off, go ahead. But it might do you some good to actually listen to this and to begin appreciating the women in your life. This is for mothers in our society that increasingly attempts to glorify the career woman. And I don't have anything against a quote unquote career woman. It's fine. Work a job, do well, provide for your family. Women have been doing that forever, since the very beginning. I mean, you read history, you look at life back before modern conveniences of the first world and technology. Women had to work hard. Okay, the man might have been out there hunting and gathering and chasing down some animal and chopping down trees, but who was making his food? Who was taking care of the house? Who was out milking the cow and fetching water and getting food ready and keeping it clean while he was out running around in the woods? Women, working hard, taking care of children when there were no hospitals. Who was educating children before we had schools to go to and all gathered together? It was women. They've been working hard since the beginning, just as hard as men. So I have nothing against a woman who works. They've always been working. But our society, increasingly, and they've been doing it for a while, but it's all about career. Get your identity from your job, become a CEO and make all these millions of dollars and be successful. And the identity is derived from something outside of the home. And I don't think that that's right. Our society looks sideways and kind of looks funny when someone says, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a home builder. It looks weird and attempts to, or maybe not even outright, but it's almost like this read between the lines type of communication that, oh, you just at home. Well, what do you do all day? Looking at him in this way when this woman has decided to make her highest priority and focus her children and her home, and making home a place of peace and a place of comfort, and making sure she has the time to pour into her children while the rest of society is out there trying to influence them. A woman who is making it her own highest priority to invest in her children and not pushing that off to someone else. And I know there are all kinds of situations. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that this woman is better than that woman or get into this fight. No, I want to place dignity on the women of the world, mothers who might have to work a full-time job to make ends meet, who might have to deal with the increasing expenses of society, who aren't in control of every situation of life, and through no fault of their own, find themselves having to work a lot and having to depend on other people to meet the needs in their own family. I'm not throwing shade at them at all. I'm trying to put dignity on the calling and the choice to be a mother. And you know what? Let's just think about that. In careers, they like to point out, media, people, it's out there in the news. For every dollar a man makes, the woman only makes 75 cents. And maybe that's true. I haven't done all the research to figure it out and say yes, no, maybe so. That's not my point. But to think that you're only going to get value from the job that you do, that your only value and your only pay comes from an employer who looks at you and says, yep, you're worth $70,000 a year. Nope, you're worth $38,000 a year. Oh no, you're worth $500,000 a year. Why is that the only standard from which you derive your value? And that's not just for women, that's for everybody. Why is that the metric we use to determine how valuable our time and our energy and our life and our talents and our decisions are? It's a valid metric. Obviously, you need that to make ends meet and to live in life. But why is that the greatest? Why is that the biggest? If we're going to fight for equal pay for mothers, why not fight for equal pay and equity for those who say, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to focus on making this home a place of refuge and peace. And I'm always going to be here when my children need me. I'm not going to have to split the time between overtime and travel and this person calling me and pouring out my time and my energy and my emotion in someone else's children. I'm going to reserve that for my own. Where's the equal pay for that woman? Who's out marching the street saying, no, we need to subsidize that life? And I'm not saying we should. I think we've kind of tried that with welfare, and I think it's backfired in our own society. But just the idea, where's the equal pay for that, right? Where's the equal pay for the couple who's saying, we're going to make the sacrifice and we're going to live off of one income? Where's the reward that the mother who is the best nurturer, better than men? That's just the truth of it. A woman is a woman, man's a man, mom's a mom, dad's a dad. Both have equal and vital parts, but you greatly suffer when you're missing one of those. And again, I'm not here to criticize people and their decisions. I just want to highlight the dignity and the value of that. But where is the pay that a mom receives for doing laundry? Where is the pay that you mother, receive for spending 3 hours cooking a meal and it's gobbled up in 15 minutes? Where's the pay for that? I mean, what's the average salary for a chef? Okay, you can go to McDonald's and make $15 an hour, but some of y'all are really good cooks. And y'all could really make some money if you were to cook not for your family, but for other people's families. Well, you're not receiving that pay at home. Where's the value in that? Where's the reward for that? And I'm not here to make you feel bitter and get upset and to get mad at someone and say, you gotta pay me more money. No, just when are you going to ever be paid your fair wage? Where's the equity in that? Society likes to point out some things, but then won't point out others. I just want to highlight the fact that what you do has immense value. And there is a dignity that no salary could ever pay you. There's a dignity in what you do and how you, for lack of a better word, perform on a daily basis that society is never going to build a monument to or for that's going to pay you what you truly deserve. It's not going to happen. There's nothing that society is going to do that's going to fully give you the reward that you deserve because only you know what you've done. And maybe your children, maybe your husband or your mother or a sister or someone who is there and intimately aware of your life and the sacrifices you make, nobody's ever going to pay you what that's truly worth. It's just not going to happen. but there's a dignity upon it. That even if someone were to hand you $1 million, would that really say, okay, it was worth it now? No, there's a payment that goes far beyond money and that can't be measured by money. I just think about just history. I'm going to use a man for this example, so it might be kind of the wrong thing to do, but it's the best one I got. But I just think about Abraham. Two major religions point their way back to him as being the father. And again, I'm not going to get into all of the ins and outs of it, but there was a time in this man's life that he realized money isn't everything. He had went and he had fought a war and he had rescued a city and rescued all the people, and they were going to give him money and say thank you. And he said, no, I don't need the money. There's a reward and there's a payment that money can't buy. And I don't need that money. I don't want that money. Keep the gold, keep the silver. There's a dignity, there's a value, there's a payment that I've already received that man can't give me. When I say man, I mean humankind and all the financial systems that we have. He says it's not the riches and the wealth. That's not going to pay me. There's a dignity that is greater than money that someone can give you. And just thinking about this and just the notes that I have in front of me, I'm not able to do this all straight from memory. So I do have notes here, but I begin to think about whether it's inspirational, motivational speaking or in church. There's sometimes when people say, you missed a good place to say amen. You missed a good place to clap and to run around the building. And I just begin to think about that. What does that actually mean? Yes, you should have celebrated what I said. I said something so amazing, and why didn't you respond to it? It almost makes it look like the one speaking needs that response. But when you think about it, they say you missed a good place to clap. Really what that's saying is you missed the reward for what you just heard. You missed an opportunity to respond. You missed the reward for your time and attention in that moment because you did not respond. You missed it. There was a need. There was something that was of incredible value for a split second or 10 seconds or however long. And you missed it. You didn't respond the right way. You lost the value of the moment because you didn't respond. It wasn't about me and you responding to me and affirming the genius of my idea, but this was for you. And because you didn't respond appropriately, you may have missed and lost the value of that moment in yourself. I know I'm kind of being abstract and philosophical and doing my best here. You are supposed to affirm the value of the content of that moment for yourself. And when you do that, you are also affirming the value of the content and the content provider. What does that even mean for mothers? When your child is sick, there's a moment for you to respond. And all you got to do is respond the best way you know how. When you do that, there's a reward in itself. A friend of mine likes to talk about reading, and he says the reward for reading is in itself. Well, I say the reward for mothering is in itself. And when you respond to that need, you're affirming the value of a mother, who you are. You're also affirming the value of the one you're taking care of, that child who is sick and you're staying up all night with them, checking their temperature, giving them medicine, cooling them off, caring about them, thinking for them, praying for them. You're affirming the value to that child. They don't even know it, but their psyche, their soul, their emotions, that child's body responds to the love that you are giving to that child. Money can't buy that. Sure, a doctor can provide care, and that's great, and we need their help. I would not be alive today if it were not for doctors. I would not be alive today if it was not for my mom. But there's a value that is only transmitted and received when it's responded to by a mother. Something happens in your heart, something happens in that child's heart. It can't be measured by money. A paycheck cannot give you enough that moment of response can do in your own heart and in your own emotions. This reward cannot be quantified. It cannot be counted. So stop trying to count it. We need to stop denominating life in dollars and cents. What does denominating means? What does denominating mean? When you go to Walmart, when you go to Publix, whatever store you go to, when you look at that gallon of milk or whatever product you're going to buy, the price is denominated in dollars. $355, $17.99, $85.99, whatever the price is. Its value is determined by dollars. We cannot denominate and value everything in dollars and cents. Some things in life, many things in life, are priceless. Another thing that I've noticed over and over in talking with young men, and particularly those who are raised by single moms, I ask them what they want to do in life, how they want to be successful, what's their ultimate goal. And so many of them say this: I want to be successful and I want to be rich. I say, okay, what are you going to do with that money? And the first thing so many of them say is, I want to buy my mom a house. So many of them, I'm not asking them, I'm not prompting them. It's this desire to do what? I want to reward my mom. She hasn't been rewarded like she should be. I haven't been able to because I'm just a young boy. Where's dad? I want to buy my mom a house. I want to buy her a house. I want to value. I want to say thank you. Now, I recently saw a speech by Deion Sanders, the primetime coach, famous cornerback in the NFL. And he was talking about his mom. He was raised by a single mom. Dad wasn't in the picture. I don't know the whole story. But he said he recently bought his mom her third house, 3 houses. And he said she never asked for the first one. Means he just bought them for her just to say thank you. But does this mean that his mom did a better job than you, mom, because he is able to buy her a third house? Does that mean she did a better job? She's more valuable? That she is this excellent and that much more because she deserves 3 houses to be given to her? Half of us are trying to get our first house. We're happy if we get 1 in life. He's buying her 3. Does that mean she's a better mom than any other mother? No, it just means her son was successful enough to acquire enough money to purchase 3 homes for her. That's all that it means. Just means there's a son who loves his mom and just wants to value her and just wants to show her and to communicate that love to her. What about those careers, those sons whose careers did not afford them the finances to purchase multiple houses for their moms? Does that mean the son is less valuable or the mom is less valuable? What about the mom whose son was highly athletic, worked hard, but got injured and lost his chance to make millions of dollars chasing around an inflated, colorful piece of cow skin, leather, football? What about that son? Unfortunate circumstances. Then he couldn't buy his mom those homes. Does that mean she was less quality of a mother? What if he decided to walk away from football before he had his chance to buy her a second home? What if he only bought 1? What if the son doesn't have the personality for TV like Deion Sanders does? What if that son can't make enough money not only to support his own family, but also buy her a 3rd home? Does that mean she's less valuable? No, we can't denominate life and value by dollars and cents and homes. What do they say? It's the thought that counts. It's recognizing the value and communicating it in ways that are meaningful to that woman, to that mother, to that person. It's valuing that person's life and just communicating that value in every way that you now know in every way you know possible. Now, I even think about just the Christian faith. It's one of the reasons why I'm fascinated by it. But even Jesus said this. He taught that when you give a cup of cold water to the least of these, you have a reward. That person's not going to turn around and give you $300. They don't have it. They're the least of these. They're poor. But there's dignity and there's value in that person's life. And when you do something for that person, the reward is in the activity and the action. And there's a reward and a compensation that this world can't give you. People aren't going to be able to give you. It only comes from God. You read all through the text, the Bible, just the Christian faith again. It says, let her children praise her. That just means let the children see that and communicate it and affirm it and speak of it. That's the reward that's greater than money. Let her husband praise her is what it says in Proverbs. Let her works praise her. Let her own reputation stand on itself, whether other people see that and value it or not. That's due to fads. That's due to economic situations. Do the right thing and experience the reward in doing it. Beauty is vain, but a woman who respects and honors the Lord is to be praised. Not paid, praised. The Bible also says, be adorned with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit. There's a reward in the peace and the contentment of being confident in yourself, knowing yourself. You know, in our societies fight for women to be, quote, equal to men, how is it that women are becoming less like women and more like men? Why? Isn't that strange to you? That the more we fight for women and femininity, the more women start to behave like men. No, be a woman. There's a excellent book by an incredible woman named Elizabeth Elliot. It's called Let Me Be a Woman. She just said, just let me be. I don't want to be a man. Who told you you have to be a man? Being equal to a man doesn't mean you have to be a man. It speaks of value. There is intrinsic value in simply being a woman, simply being a mother. You don't have to be a man. You don't have to be a father. Just be who you are, who you were created and designed to be. Why are we pushing for women to compete against men as if a man is the standard for a woman? It's not. Men are men, women are women. We shouldn't be trying to have men and women compete against each other. We're different. Equal value, but different. There's a woman I heard, her name is, I think, K. Cole James. Should have looked it up. Sorry. Black woman, very successful. And I heard an interview with her or by her. And she said this: I don't have to kill my babies or mutilate my body to be equal to any man. That's powerful. She's saying, I'm not competing with a man. Men can't have babies. I don't have to destroy my ability to have babies or the fact that I'm having a baby in order for me to compete with a man. I'll be a woman and I'm going to do what I can do to the best of my ability. And she's done that. It's powerful what she said. I don't have to kill my babies. I don't have to mutilate my body to be equal to any man. I'm a woman, she said. I'm a man, but she is a woman. You know, we should be teaching boys and men to honor women, not compete with them. We should be teaching girls and women to conduct themselves honorably. We should teach them, girls, to respect men, not compete with them. We should be teaching boys and men to conduct themselves respectably and honor women. Respect and honor yourself, and respect and honor others. Be a woman, be a wife, be a mother. I pray that the compensation and the reward that you receive is the dignity and the honor that only God can provide.